Hi everyone, my name is Jenny and I'm a CA or a community assistant over at Manzanita Hall on Tempe campus. And one of the important things for being a CA for myself is knowing that my residents are aware of HIV, anything with sexual health, and so today that's what I'm going to be talking to you about. We're going to be talking about HIV testing and some of the stigmas and questions that you may have about that. So we're going to be talking around 5 to 7 minutes about this. If you need to use the bathroom, anything like that, go ahead and use it. No need to ask. If you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat. Unmute, stop me, whatever, raise your hand, that's totally fine. Today's goal is to pretty much have a conversation about this. I'm not really going to be lecturing or doing a legit presentation on it. We're just going to be kind of talking and going back and forth. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to emphasize is is that HIV, there's no cure for it anywhere in the world, but it is 100% preventable. And the only way that one can have access to life-saving treatments is if they know their own status, and the only way to know one's own status is by getting tested. So we're going to be talking about why it's important to get tested and what might stop people from actually getting tested if it's so important. So the first question is, why is it so important to get tested? Can anyone maybe give me a possible reason, anything like that? Feel free to put it in the chat. Yeah, so one of the reasons is because if one is aware of their own status, they could potentially prevent transmission. If they know that they're HIV positive, they would know that they're HIV positive after getting tested, and this would help them make decisions and not transmit it to anyone else after they are aware that they are positive. This would help everyone to stay safe, to prevent further transmission of HIV, but it is important to know that the thing that is important to know is their own status before they're able to know to prevent transmission. Another reason is because since technology has further advanced a lot in the last few decades, people can now get treatment and live a normal, normal life, even if they're HIV positive. And the only way to know this, or to get this, is to know one's own status, and the only way to know that is to go get tested. So we just talked about why is it so important to get tested, and so we just gave a couple of reasons for that. So now we're probably going to be thinking, well, what keeps people from getting tested? If there's no cure for HIV anywhere in the world, but it's 100% preventable, there's life-saving treatments, and people need to get tested in order to get that treatment. Why wouldn't we get tested? So that's the second question I have for you guys. What might stop people from actually getting tested? Because it's not really common that we hear people getting HIV tested in everyday life or anything like that. But if it's so beneficial, why aren't people doing it? You can put your answers in the chat again, or unmute. Yeah, so one of the reasons is because of negative stigma around HIV. Whenever we hear about HIV, there's just a little circle of negativity around HIV, and then there's, at least in my opinion, I feel like there's a lot of judgment around HIV and stuff like that. But the good thing about testing for HIV is that it's completely confidential. It would only be between you and your physician. The person who is getting tested, they would have the opportunity and choice to keep the test results confidential. So they would be the only ones who would know it, and the physician. They can decide if they want to share it with anyone else. So besides the physician knowing, it is completely confidential between that one person. And so it's not like it's going to be something that's aerating through everyone you know. Some other reasons is people might think that it's expensive because you hear that HIV testing, oh, that means I have to go to the doctors or like a lab place to do it, and it's probably going to cost money. Well, the good thing is that at least in Arizona, like there are places in Arizona where one could get tested and it's free. I'm sure other states have that as well, or at a very low cost. In Arizona, there's az.org, and they will send you kits to your house anonymously, so that you could complete it, and it would not be of any cost for you. Some other reasons is I've heard that some people don't want to go get tested because they're afraid of actually being positive. And one of the things I could say for this is, yes, it could be very scary. It's very scary, like knowing that what are the possibilities that I am positive, but it's kind of like that where people say, like, ignorance is bliss. You don't really want to know. But if you do know, if one does know that they are HIV positive, they could seek like actual like treatment for it and then still live a very normal long life. But in order to get that, they would need to go get tested and know their status by getting tested. And also, when they know about it, they are able to protect their loved ones by preventing further transmission. So we kind of talked about today, why is it important to get tested, and then why would some people not want to get tested. So I hope that you were able to get something out of me talking to you today about it. I want to thank you so much for taking your time and coming here and listening to me. And I hope everyone here gets tested right after this. Thank you for listening, everyone.